Hello guys, welcome to the bridge, and we are here to cover the recent bouts that has happened as the day starts in wrestling in 57 kg category. India has two participants in women has participants in each women's and men's category. Anshu Malik and Aman Sehrawat. So the day started with Aman Sehrawat taking up the bat against Vladimir Egorov, and he had convincingly dominated the whole bout and backed the match by technical superiority. Isn't that right? I mean, a good sign after what we have witnessed yesterday, Akhilesh.
Yes, a comfortable bout from Aman. He was looking confident throughout, and it was a bout which we expected him to win against against an opponent who is much superior too. And he showed that in his technical superiority when he
Yeah.
looked very comfortable, was easily able to implement his strategy and topple the Macedonian wrestler. So it's good to see Aman start well. He's the other seeded wrestler other than Antim Pangal. Antim Pangal was met with a disappointment yesterday. But Aman
Yeah.
Sehrawat, our other seeded wrestler in the Paris Olympics and also lone male representative,
Exactly.
took things into his own hands and sort of won comfortably. But things are sort of going to get more difficult from the quarterfinals onwards, where he
Yeah.
does face other seeded and
Hmm.
higher caliber wrestlers, and
Exactly.
have to see how the young wrestler will sort of take his form into that.
Exactly. So when we talk about Aman wrestlers, Aman Sehrawat is a wrestler. So he has basically was in awe of his idol Ravi Daya, who represented in the same category in Tokyo Olympics and eventually won a medal. So yes, there are a couple of big shoes to fill. Do you think Aman will? I mean, at least from the first bout, from what we have seen, he has been playing good game there. Do you think he might be able to, if not replicate, but will be good fight as Ravi did at the Tokyo Olympics.
Have to see, because the field of wrestlers in the same draw as Aman right now is very difficult. Initially, it was sort of a better draw for him when the Serbian Micic was there, but he pulled off, and then the Japanese, who Aman has lost to recently, has become the number one seed and is on the same side. So
Exactly.
is Abakarov from Albania, who is another very reputed wrestler, who Aman would find it really, really
Really,
difficult
really
to
difficult. Yes.
defeat. So there are a couple of very tricky bouts, and Aman has to be at his best to sort of replicate what Ravi Dahiya did last time.
Yeah.
But Aman has beaten Ravi Dahiya in
In
the
the wrestling trials.
wrestling
So
trials, so he does have the caliber to sort
yeah.
of challenge an Olympic.
Yeah.
Have to see how confident he is during this particular Olympics, and how he can replicate and convert his strategy in the bigger games. It will be a
Exactly.
very interesting watch.
And so also it's also important to know that Aman Sehrawat as a wrestler is no stranger to big feats. He already has done something historic when he became the under 20 champion, and he possibly is familiar with what it feels like to stand on the top of the world. So it will be interesting to see if Aman Sehrawat will be able to continue the stream of techniques and moves in the coming bouts as well when he faces the upper seed wrestlers at the Paris Olympics. On that note, we have our second wrestler here, Anshu Malik, in the 57 women's 57 kg category. Um, I was actually more excited to see how she will be implementing the things that she had learned in Japan during her stay with some of the best wrestlers in the world. But in the round of 16, Anshu faced Helen of the USA, but barely staged any fight there.
I think she was much better than when she came
Hmm.
across the same wrestler Helen Marolis in the 2021
Hmm.
Wrestling World Championship final,
Hmm.
and she has sort of faced the same opponent, and she was improving. It was a much closer bout, but the American is a superior wrestler to Anshu. She is a Rio Olympics gold medalist, Tokyo Olympics bronze medalist. So that shows the pedigree, that shows the caliber of the opponent.
Yeah.
And as soon as the draw came out, it was a very unlucky draw for Anshu
Anshu
Malik,
Malik,
because she
yes.
has the American in the very first round, and also has the number one seeded Japanese
Yeah.
Sugumi Sakurai in the same, who's a multiple time world champion. So now now whether we have to see the American does beat the Japanese and go to the final, then Anshu could have a chance at short of a medal through
Yeah.
repechage. But that does seem difficult as well because the
Hmm.
Japanese will be she'll have a task cut out against the Japanese as well.
Yeah.
So it was a promising few years for Anshu. She has improved from what she was in the Tokyo Olympics where she
Hmm.
again went down in the first round. And from now there has been a difference, but unfortunately because of the draw she is not able to show that on the scorecard by winning bouts in at the Olympics. But I think the growth is there and she is slowly getting into becoming a much more superior wrestler in her
Exactly.
category.
True, true, true. Something that you mentioned that was much of a closer bout, but do not go with our literal words because the bout did end on the score of 2-7, and for better half of the bout, Anju was not able to find an opening against Helen. All right, and it was only in the last moment where she was able to bag a couple of points, but it was Helen from the USA who was completely through and through dominating the bout. She had a very clearer idea, and well, Anshu in some capacity was still processing how to counter her attacks. But yes, she indeed staged defense because, as I said, not every point came easy for Helen, and Anshu Malik has definitely improved. Last time she faced the same opponent, and now her fate absolutely depends upon Helen and her reaching to the finals in women's 57 kg category. As for Haman, the next bout is just around the corner, so stay tuned with the bridge, and we'll come back with more updates. Thank you.